What up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm back with another video, man. You can see I'm done for the day. See, we got a competitor next to me. Shout out to Performance. But real quick, guys, I just wanted to answer this question, man, just because I get asked this a lot. And that is, when it comes to the age and doing food service delivery, somebody asked me, do I think they're too old to do food service? And they were 36 years old, I believe it was. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. First off, are you too old to do food service at 36? The answer is absolutely not, right? 36, in my opinion, actually isn't even old. You know, I'm 41 and I don't consider myself old at all. But when you're getting into food service, you know, there are drivers that are doing this job in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And I'm pretty sure I'll have some, you know, peers, some other food service delivery drivers that'll probably drop a comment. You know, they can confirm what I'm telling you guys right now. They can attest to it. I'm pretty sure they may have coworkers, you know, in the 50s and 60s that are still pushing cases, right? Age really, you know, it's a state of mind. Now, there's obviously, you know, some things you can't do when you get a certain age, right? I haven't seen anybody that's 80 in food service yet. You know what I mean? So, you know, there is a limit to what you can do when you reach a certain age. It'd be foolish not to think so, right? But, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, that's pretty common. You see that a lot in food service. I know the reason people ask that question is because of how physically demanding this job is. And that's one thing that I don't sugarcoat when it comes to this line of work, man. It's a tough job, very physically demanding. And that's one thing I like to be straight up about. Despite what you may hear from other people out there that may be in food service, you may hear, you know, people saying that it's easy. But for the average person coming into this line of work, it's probably 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be easy for you. And so that's why I don't say it's easy, because I know there are people that are interested in getting into this, and everybody's on a different level. You know, you got some people that's getting into this industry that have, or this line of work in particular, that may have never done physical labor before, right? To this extent. Some people getting into this line of work that have never used a dolly before, or never gone up and down a ramp before with product. Probably about a year or so ago, we had a gentleman at my particular location that was actually finishing up his training. He was going to work at another location, and it was an older gentleman. This guy looked like he probably had to be in his 60s. And I went over and introduced myself to him, and I just asked him a couple questions. And, you know, one of the questions that I asked him was, you know, have you ever done this line of work before, you know, or anything like it? And he was like, nah, man, I'm coming from over the road, right? He said that's pretty much all he's been doing since he's been in trucking. Just, you know, over the road, bumping docks and things of that nature. And so one thing that he started to share with me was that he was struggling coming down the ramp with product. That's one thing that he was having a difficult time doing. You know, he told me that you know, he lost some product coming down the ramp. You know, some of the cases fell off, they got damaged, and he was just, you know, expressing that to me. And for somebody that have never done this type of work before, that can easily, you know, happen. even people that has experience doing this job, myself included, have had some, you know, loads come apart coming down the ramp. You may have dropped some cases, some cases fell on the ground and maybe got damaged. Those type of things happen in food service, and you know, that's one of the things that he was struggling with. So I said all that to really make my point when I say that there are people that get into this line of work that have never used a dolly before. So if it's something that you're interested in doing and you happen to be, you know, in your 30s or older, I'm telling you that there are a lot of people in that age group that are doing this job and have been doing it for a very long time, right? You know, I've talked to people that have been doing food service for over 20 plus years and they're still at it. If it's something you want to get into, man, definitely give it a shot. And if it works out for you, fine. If it doesn't, fine, right? There are a lot of jobs out there that you can do. Food service is just one of them. If you want to do no-touch freight jobs only, definitely go that route. On my channel, when I'm talking about food service, I'm not here to try to persuade anybody to get into food service. That's going to be up to you. I'm just showing you guys from my own experience some of the things that I go through, and just, you know, kind of share some information about this particular trucking job that may be beneficial to you. There are a lot of channels out there that talk about food service, so my channel isn't the only one, man. There's a lot of good information out there. So, you know, I encourage you guys to watch other channels, ask questions, and just, you know, soak up all the information you can about this job if it's something that you're interested in. Another thing I want to talk about before I get out of here, man, is the money in food service, because I want you guys to really set realistic expectations when you're getting into food service. I know, you know, you probably hear about some of the money that's made in food service, you know, 6-figure salaries and all of that. You probably see paychecks from individuals that have made big lump sums. I've even shared some on my community tab. I have guys that send me their pay stubs through my DMs. So, you know, the money is there to be made in food service, but I want you guys to have realistic expectations, man. Everybody in food service isn't making 6 figures. That's a fact. So when you see those big paychecks, man, you know, it's cool and it's good for optics and shock value, but at the end of the day, there are far more drivers making less than 6 figures than those that make 6 figures. And that's just a fact. That's the reality of it, right? And so again, set realistic expectations when you're getting into this space, man. And I'm only saying 6 figures because that seems to be the number that most people want to hit. So again, guys, I just wanted to establish that. Like I said, I think it's important to be, you know, as truthful and transparent as possible when it comes to the amount of money you can make out here. You know, is it possible to make 6 figures? Absolutely. There are drivers out here that are making it, but not every driver makes 6 figures. And so, you know, I just want you guys to understand that. Oftentimes when you see people making that type of money, you don't know what was involved or what they had to do to make that type of money. You may be able to see the hours that's worked if you look at a pay stub, but you don't know the sacrifices that that individual had to make. You don't know the workload that that person had to deal with to make that type of money. To whom much is given, much is required. So don't think that's just like a given to come in and make a 6-figure salary. All right, guys, real quick, if you're watching for the first time and you get any value from today's video, definitely hit that like button for me. I really would appreciate your support. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get back to the video. When it comes to food service, it's a lot of different variables involved. You got some companies that pay hourly. You have some companies that pay what's called component pay, where you get paid based on, you know, the total cases you're delivering, total mileage driven, and the total stops worked. So it's just different factors that determines your overall pay. And depending on what company you go to, the way you get paid may be different from the way somebody else get paid. So all these things are just something that you have to consider before getting into this business. But with all that said, guys, you can make some really good money in food service, and you know, really good money is gonna be relative to whoever you ask. Yes, you're gonna work for the money. It just is what it is, man. That's about it, guys. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Get checked into this hotel. It's hot out here. You guys can probably see me sweating. So let me get inside. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good one, man. Take care. Peace.